Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradham Hari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradham Hari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradham Hari. Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradham Hari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradham Hari. Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yamuna Tira Vanacham Hari Yamuna Tira Vanacham Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha, Shama Sundara Radha, Shama Sundara Radhe. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jai Om Vishnupad, Paramahamsa Parivarajagacharya Ashtotara Sattva Shishimachila, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai Om Vishnupad, Paramahamsa Parivarajagacharya Ashtotara Sattva Shishimachila, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki. Ananta Kudi Vaishnavrinda ki. Shri Rup Shri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Ji Jeev Gopala Bhattarasa Raghunath Sari Goswami Prabhu ki. Prem se ko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivajari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki. Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopa Gopi Gopinath Cham Kund Radha Kund Gira Govardhana ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki, Shri Mathura Dham ki, Shri Mayapur Dham ki, Shri Jagannathpuri Dham ki, Vrinda Devi Tulsi Devi ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Ganga Yamuna Devi ki, Harinam Sankirtan Yagya ki, Shri Shri Gaunitai ki, Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki, Shri Shri Radha Shama Sundar ki, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol, Samaveta Bhakta ki, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. We are reading from the Bhagavad Gita as it is, 15th chapter, text number 3 and 4. Chapter is entitled The Yoga of the Supreme Person. Na rūpam asyeha tathopalabhyate nānto na cādir na ca sampratiṣṭhā aśvattham enaṁ su-virūḍha-mūlam asaṅga-śastreṇa dṛḍhena chittvā tataḥ padaṁ tat parimārgitavyaṁ yasmin gatā nivartanti bhūyaḥ tameva cādyaṁ puruṣaṁ prapadye yataḥ pravṛttiḥ prasṛtā purāṇī rūpam asyeha tathopalabhyate nānto na cādir na ca sampratiṣṭhā aśvattham enaṁ su-virūḍha-mūlam asaṅga-śastreṇa dṛḍhena chittvā tataḥ padaṁ tat parimārgitavyaṁ yasmin gatā nivartanti bhūyaḥ tameva cādyaṁ puruṣaṁ prapadye yataḥ pravṛttiḥ prasṛtā purāṇī
rūpam asyeha tathopalabhyate nānto na cādir na ca sampratiṣṭhā asvattham enaṁ su-virūḍha-mūlam asaṅga-śastreṇa dṛḍhena chittvā tataḥ padaṁ tat parimārgitavyaṁ yasmin gatā nivartanti bhūyaḥ tameva cādyaṁ puruṣaṁ prapadye yataḥ pravṛttiḥ prasṛtā purāṇī
rūpam asyeha tathopalabhyate nānto na cādir na ca sampratiṣṭhā asvattham enaṁ su-virūḍha-mūlam asaṅga-śastreṇa dṛḍhena chittvā padaṁ tat parimārgitavyaṁ
parimārgitavyaṁ
yasmin gatā nivartanti bhūyaḥ tameva cādyaṁ puruṣaṁ prapadye yataḥ pravṛttiḥ prasṛtā purāṇī
rūpam asyeha tathopalabhyate nānto na cādir na ca sampratiṣṭhā asvattham enaṁ su-virūḍha-mūlam asaṅga-śastreṇa dṛḍhena chittvā tataḥ padaṁ tat parimārgitavyaṁ yasmin gatā nivartanti bhūyaḥ tameva cādyaṁ puruṣaṁ prapadye yataḥ pravṛttiḥ prasṛtā purāṇī
Ladies,
rūpam asyeha tathopalabhyate nānto na cādir na ca sampratiṣṭhā asvattham
asvattham enaṁ su-virūḍha-mūlam
asaṅga-śastreṇa dṛḍhena chittvā
asaṅga-śastreṇa dṛḍhena chittvā
padaṁ tat parimārgitavyaṁ
tathopalabhyate parimārgitavyaṁ
yasmin gatā nivartanti bhūyaḥ
yasmin gatā nivartanti bhūyaḥ
tameva cādyaṁ puruṣaṁ prapadye
tameva cādyaṁ puruṣaṁ prapadye
yataḥ pravṛttiḥ prasṛtā purāṇī
yataḥ pravṛttiḥ prasṛtā purāṇī.
Na, not, rūpam, the form, asya,
Asya
of this tree,
of this tree,
in this world, tataḥ,
tataḥ
also,
also
upalabhyate,
upalabhyate,
can be perceived,
can be perceived,
na,
no,
never,
never,
antah,
anta,
and,
and
na,
now,
never, cha, also,
also,
adi, beginning,
beginning,
na, never,
never,
cha, also, sampratiṣṭhā, the foundation, aśvattham, banyan tree, enaṁ, this, su-virūḍha, strongly, mūlam, rooted, asaṅga-śastreṇa, by the weapon of detachment, dṛḍhena, strong, chittvā, cutting, tataḥ, thereafter, padaṁ, situation, tat, that, parimārgitavyaṁ, has to be searched out, yasmin, where, gatā, going, na, never, nivartanti, they come back, bhūyaḥ, again, tam, to him, eva, certainly, cha, also, cādyaṁ, original, puruṣaṁ, the personality of Godhead, prapadye, surrender, yataḥ, from whom, pravṛttiḥ, the beginning, prasṛtā, extended, purāṇī, very old. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Purport: it is now clearly stated that the real form of this banyan tree cannot be understood in this material form. Since the root is upwards, the extension of the real tree is at the other end. When entangled with the material expansions of the tree, one cannot see how far the tree extends, nor can one see the beginning of this tree. Yet one has to find out the course. I am the son of my father is the son of such and such a person, etc. By searching in this way, one comes to Brahma, who is generated by the Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Finally, this way, when one reaches the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is the end of research work. One has to search out that origin of this tree, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, through the association of persons who are in knowledge of that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then by understanding, one becomes gradually detached from this false reflection of reality, and by knowledge one can cut off the connection and actually become situated in the real tree. The word asaṅga is very important in this connection, because the attachment for sense enjoyment and loading it over the material nature is very strong. Therefore one must learn detachment by discussion of spiritual science based on authoritative scriptures, and one must hear from persons who are actually in knowledge. As a result of such discussion, in the association of devotees, one comes to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then the first thing one must do is surrender to Him. The description of that place whence having gone, one never returns to this reflected tree to this false reflected tree is given here. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the original root from whom everything has emanated. To gain the favor of that Personality of Godhead, one has only to surrender, and this is the result of performing devotional service by hearing, chanting, etc. It is the cause of the extension of the material world. This has already been explained by the Lord Himself. Am sarvasya prabhavo, I am the origin of everything. Therefore, to get out of the entanglement of this strong banyan tree of material life, one must surrender to Krishna. As soon as one surrenders unto Krishna, one becomes detached automatically from this material extension. Om ajnanatimirandasya jnananjana salakaya chakasodhanamritam yanam tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutabadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rūpam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatan Vitam Tam Srivam Sadvaitam su-virūḍha-mūlam parijana sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vijaganvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tatta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. So here the chapter is entitled The Yoga of the Supreme Person. So yoga means to connect with the Lord through various means. It may be by performing one's activities and then giving up the result to the Lord, karma yoga, or by cultivating knowledge, jnana yoga, or by performing meditation, ashtanga yoga, and then by bhakti yoga, means by serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly, with devotion. So the goal is to go to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in His divine abode. And that is possible only if one is fully engaged in this material world. Fully engaged in this, in the service of the Lord, being situated in this material world. And so then one may attain perfection in due course of time. So we have to, of course, have knowledge of this material world, and so therefore Krishna is giving instructions in his Bhagavad Gita also how to, and that is also seen in the Vedic literatures. And different branches of knowledge are there. Just like, for example, Ayurveda. So, if one is sick, one may take some medicine, And in the Vedic literatures in Ayurveda, so different herbs are prescribed. Then there's astrology also, which may help one in trying to understand one's psychophysical nature, what is most suited for us, and it may help us then to navigate in this world. Then there's Vastu Shastra, for example, how to build a house where the kitchen should be situated, where the temple should be situated in the house. For example, Agni Kon. So these south-east direction is known as Agni Kon, and that is, Agni means the fire, Kon means the corner. So that is the best place to have the kitchen. Isha Kon is there in the northeast. Isha means the Lord. So in the northeast, we may have the temple room, so and so on. So by following the Vedic literatures, and with Krishna in the center, then one may be able to live peacefully in this world. And then one may be able to properly engage in devotional service. And then one may advance in spiritual understanding. And ultimately, then one may realize one's spiritual nature as being different from this material body, the gross and subtle body. So the gross body we can see, our own body, other bodies, made of 5 material elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, and then the subtle body is there. So sometimes people, they identify with the material body. I'm a man, I'm Indian, I'm a doctor, and so on. Sometimes one may identify with the subtle body also, because one may also understand that this gross body is simply the covering of ultimately the subtle body or the soul. It is like a vehicle. And so those who are more intelligent, they can understand that they're different from this material body. But then some people, they identify with the subtle body. But the subtle body is also temporary. And the subtle body is not our real nature. The subtle body consists of the material mind, the material intelligence, and the material ego. But beyond that is the spirit soul, who is ultimately completely different from the gross and subtle body. And the spirit soul is eternally connected to Krishna, the Supreme Lord, or Vishnu, or Narayan, or Ram. And the spirit soul is meant to serve the Lord, and that is the natural activity of the soul, is to serve the Lord. Jivera Sopoi Krishnera Nityadas. The sarup, the constitutional position of the soul, is to serve Krishna. So being this material world, one has to be in the association of devotees who are transcendently situated, who are the representatives of the Lord. And by following their instructions and engaging in devotional service, slowly but surely one becomes purified in consciousness, and then one will understand one's real nature, one's spiritual nature. So here there's a description of this material world, and so here figuratively so explained as a banyan tree. So banyan tree is actually considered to be an auspicious tree, a holy tree, And the banyan tree has some special characteristics. So, and the banyan tree actually can become very big, immense. So the roots are there of the banyan tree, like every tree. But then you may see that the banyan tree will have also roots. So going upwards, so to say, from the branches, you may see that. So it is very interesting tree. So the material world is considered to be just like a banyan tree, but it is upside down. And that we cannot see in the material world, a tree which is upside down, except if you go to a reservoir of water, a lake, or even if the river is flowing softly, and you can see the tree, the reflection of the tree at the bank of the river or the lake, then the tree in the water is upside down. So similarly, so in this material world, this banyan tree is upside down. It is a reflection of the spiritual world. In other words, in the spiritual world, so the things of this material world, they may be seen in the spiritual world, but in its pure original form. So just like here in this material world, in this planet, so human beings are there, animals are there, birds are there, aquatics are there. But these are material forms. These are temporary. But then in the spiritual world, so there are also human forms, and there are also birds, animals, aquatics. But these are eternal forms, full of bliss and knowledge. Satchidananda Vigraha, just like the Lord is Satchidananda Vigraha. His form is eternal, full of bliss and knowledge. Similarly, so the eternal associates of the Lord they also have this eternal form, full of bliss and knowledge. But there is a difference between the Supreme Lord and the living entity. The Supreme Lord is unlimited, Vibhu. Whereas the living entity are very small. So, anuchit vastu. Chit vastu means transcendental object. Anu means infinitesimal, very tiny. And the Supreme Lord is known as Brihat Chit Vastu. Brihat means great, Chit, transcendental object, Vastu. So, here in this world, in these verses, 2 verses, so it is explained that the conditioned soul, they cannot really understand where it begins, where is the foundation, where the tree is coming from, where is it going. So what is the source of this material world? What is the purpose of this material world? Except the devotees, nobody can understand. Many people may speculate. And many people, they will ask, they will wonder, what is the purpose of the material world? Some say, yes, it is for enjoyment. We are in this world now, so we enjoy as long as we can, as long as we can live. But this material world is where the conditioned souls are situated. And the Supreme Lord, so He is appeared, or is appearing, to give transcendental knowledge in regards to the spiritual world, in the regards to, of course, even the material world, and also how to get out of this material world and how to go to the spiritual world. So he himself is giving knowledge, or he's sending his representative to disseminate this transcendental knowledge. So here, so if one is seeing a tree in the river, so we should understand that is not a real tree, that is the perverted reflection. So similarly, this material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. And then here it is explained that asaṅga-śastreṇa, dṛḍhena, chittvā, one should with determination cut this attachment to this material world. So, because if we are not detached from this material world, then we cannot become attached to the spiritual world, to the Supreme Lord. So with detachment, so with determination, with knowledge, so we should try to cut this attachment to this material world. Here the weapon of detachment is mentioned, so that has to be there. Detachment, cutting attachment to this material world. But so it is very important to gain transcendental knowledge. So to hear about the Supreme Lord, about the process of devotional service. So knowledge is very much required. Also sometimes it is explained as this word of knowledge. So we have the knowledge, and with the knowledge then we can cut the attachment to this material world. So here explained the weapon of detachment, and so that is the sword of knowledge. So knowledge has to be there, and then we can cut the attachment to this world. We can become detached. And then, so then it is explained one has to surrender to the Supreme Person. Puruṣaṁ prapadye. One has to willingly take shelter of the Supreme Lord. In the beginning it is difficult to take shelter of the Lord. So it is a kind of force is required. Still one may be attached, but we know it is not good. And then one has to force oneself to serve the Lord. So surrender is a kind of force is there. But then in more advanced stage, then it becomes natural to serve Krishna. And it becomes easier to be detached from this material world. And then one will take shelter voluntarily. Voluntarily one will take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. So we should try to go to that spiritual world by taking shelter of Krishna, who is residing in the spiritual world. But is coming to this material world to perform his pastimes to attract the conditioned souls. And he sends his representatives, the spiritual master. And the spiritual master will help the devotee to take shelter of Krishna. The spiritual master will help the disciple or the devotee to become detached from things of this material world. So it is mentioned also that the Krishna, of course, is the source of everything. Specifically in the scriptures it is mentioned that Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigranadi Radhir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna is Parameshwar, the greatest controller. Adi Purush, the original person. The source of everything, the cause of all causes. So he is residing in Golok Vrindavan, the spiritual world. And then, so different personalities of Godhead are there, but they're all expanded forms of Krishna. Etecham sakalapam sam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. That is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. Only Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is no different from Radha Krishna are addressed as Swayam Bhagavan. All the other personalities of Godhead are addressed as Bhagavan or Puruṣaṁ. So, and then the energy of the Lord is there, and the original energy, potency of the Lord is Śrīmati Radharani. And the other personalities, the consorts of Vishnu, Narayan, Ram, they're all expansions of Śrīmati Radharani. So she's the Mool Shakti, the original energy. And actually we have to take shelter of the energy of the Lord in order to approach, in order to serve the Supreme Lord. Krishna is Vishaya Vigraha. Vishaya means the object. And the asya is the abode of love. So the spiritual master is also the abode of love. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord, or for us also worshipable. And then, so the ashra is the abode, so that is also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the abode of love. He's no different from Radha Krishna, but he came as a devotee. And so he has given Krishna Prem, Nama Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gauratise Namaha. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord, no different from Radha Krishna, is worshipable. For us, Vishaya Vigraha, but he's the abode of love also. In the form of Srimati, he has accepted or he has adopted the luster of Śrīmati Radharani and the mood of Śrīmati Radharani. And so in this form as Mahaprabhu, so he has practically come as a devotee to show us how to serve Krishna. He has established the Yuga Dharma, the chanting of the holy names, the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, and practically he has shown how to engage in devotional service. And he was very exemplary, of course, as the Supreme Lord. And first of all, of course, in his childhood, so the pastimes are there of the Lord, similar to Krishna's pastimes, just like a naughty boy, Krishna, in his pastime in this world. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, he was a naughty boy in this world, performing wonderful pastimes in loving exchange with his associates. So childhood pastimes are there, pastimes in youth, which are ultimately just like Krishna Kishoravasta. So then these are then the same pastimes as in the spiritual world. So in the spiritual world, Krishna is always in Kishoravasta, young man or boy, 11 to 15, that is Kishoravasta, that is his eternal age. And Radharani, she is Kishori. Similarly, Mahaprabhu is a youth or young man of eternally of 20-25 years, and that he has manifested in this world. And then at the age of 25, in this world, he enters the sannyasa ashram. So as a householder, he was worshipping the Lord also. Just to set the example, he had a shaligram named Raghunath. And then as a householder, he was, of course, studying the scriptures, appeared in the Brahmana family. His father was a Brahmana. So ultimately, then he started the Yugadharma, the chanting of the holy names, as a householder, and induced his friends and then the common man to chant the holy names. So setting the example. Then for some years he was there as a householder, but then for the benefit of the fallen conditioned souls, he entered the sannyasa ashram. He renounced everything. Although only 25 years old, he left his young wife, his mother. His father had already left this world for the purpose of distributing the holy names, distributing transcendental knowledge, distributing love of Godhead. Nama mahavadanyaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna chaitanya namane gauratise namaha. So in this way then, of course, usually if one is a householder, one should stay for 20-25 years in the household ashram. And then he may enter sannyasa ashram or vanaprastha, a renounced family. And as vanaprastha, so one may renounce family together with the wife, or the wife will follow the husband, just like Prithu Maharaj, or sometimes in vanaprastha ashram like Bharat Maharaj, one may leave the wife under the care of the children, the sons. And then one may be fully dedicated to the Lord. And only those who are highly advanced, they will enter the sannyasa ashram. So Mahaprabhu, he entered the sannyasa ashram, and then he showed also how to become more and more absorbed in Krishna consciousness. And so he distributed the holy names going all over Bharatvarsha, India. He came to Vrindavan also for 2.5 months, discovering the holy places, specifically Radhakund and Shamakund, and then giving transcendental knowledge to Rupa Goswami in Prayag, to Sanatana Goswami in Varanasi, and of course others also, Raghunath Das Goswami in Puri, and so on, for the benefit of the conditioned souls, and told them also to excavate the lost holy places in Braj. So by taking shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by Mahaprabhu's mercy, then we can advance more and more. And then in purified consciousness, then transcendental love towards Krishna, which is actually there already in the heart, but it is covered in the beginning. The consciousness is in this material world, absorbed in this material world. And therefore one has to purify the consciousness, one has to become detached from this material world, one has to take shelter first of Sri Guru, who has love for Krishna, and then with his help, then one may be able to take shelter of Mahaprabhu, of Krishna, and then gradually the natural love for Krishna will manifest, and then one becomes free from this attachment to this material world, and one becomes attached to Krishna, firmly attached, and then one may attain perfection. So Prabhupada in the purport, so he has specifically mentioned then one has to search out the origin of the tree of this material world. as explained, the reflection of the spiritual world. So the source of this tree of this material world, that is Krishna. So Krishna is the source of the spiritual world, the reality, the absolute reality. And then the material world is the perverted reflection of the absolute reality. So it is a relative reality. It is temporary reality. But it is the reality is there, not like the Mayavadis, they say this material world is false. But it is a reality, but it is a material reality and it is temporary. And ignorance is there in this material world. Of course, some knowledge is there, but it is material knowledge. So which is ultimately a perverted reflection of the spiritual knowledge. And so Krishna is the source of everything, and then so Sarup Shakti, the internal potency is there, and the three aspects are there. The Sandhini Shakti, the existence potency manifested by Balaram, or is the personified form, but still ultimately Krishna is the source of everything. Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. And then from this existence potency of Balaram, then the Dravya Shakti is manifest in this material world. The material world is manifested then. And then Krishna is himself, especially embodiment of the Chit, Chit Shakti, the knowledge potency. There's transcendental knowledge and then there's material world knowledge in this material world. So which is also required. And then the pleasure potency is there, Srimati Radharani. And in the material world that is known as Kriya Shakti. So Kriya means the activity by which one may perform some activity and gain some result. But ultimately one has to engage in the service of the Lord. And then one may be able to advance more and more. So, but specifically here it is mentioned that through the association of persons who are in knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we may attain perfection. As Krishna says to Arjuna, tadvidi paripatena pa prashna seva upadekshanti de gyanam gyaninas tattvadarsinaha. We should approach the spiritual master, tattvadarsinaha, who is darshan of the param tattva, the supreme, absolute truth, the absolute reality, vastav vastu. And so he will impart knowledge unto us if we approach him, tadvidi pariprasna seva. So in humble mood we should approach the spiritual master. We may inquire from him and then he will give knowledge. Because he has knowledge, so he can give knowledge. Om tad Vishnu param param sada pashnade suryaho divuchaksoraram tatvipazvindavo jagribam sa samindre vishnadyat paramam padam. So the Vipra, the Brahmanas, the devotees who are highly advanced, they can see the abode of the Lord. They can see Golok Vrindavan. And then they can show us Krishna. They can show us the spiritual world. They can show us the process, they can give us the process by which we may advance, by which we can see the spiritual world, by which we can see Krishna, and then take shelter of Krishna. And then, by doing that, then we may attain perfection. So in the beginning, knowledge may be there, and then we're trying to surrender to Krishna. So although causeless unwillingness is there, of the conditioned soul to surrender to Krishna. Due to the modes of material nature, the unwillingness is there to surrender. But one has to come over that, and one has to, with determination, with the sword of knowledge, with the sword of detachment, one has to cut the attachment to this material world. One has to cut the doubts which may be there in the consciousness. Why should I surrender now to Krishna? Or why should I engage in devotional service? Or the mind sometimes, even we know we should serve Krishna, but the mind does not want. The mind wants sense gratification. So we have to try to give knowledge even to our own mind. Manashiksha. There's one beautiful book by Raghunath Das Goswami, Manashiksha, Instructions to the Mind. And there in the first verse is explaining that we should take shelter. My mind, addressing the mind. Please, Guru Goste Gostalishu Sajan Bhusurgan Swamantra Srinamni Navayavadande Sharane. Please take shelter of the divine couple. Rati, with some affection. And then especially the beginning Guru. So take shelter of Sri Guru. And as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we take shelter of Mahaprabhu. We take shelter of Brajadham, where Krishna resides. And then Sajan, Bhusurgan. So we respect all the Vaishnavas, Sajan, and the gentlemen of this world. So Prabhupada used to say, first you become a gentleman, then you can become Vaishnav. And then we respect Bhusurgan, the gods of this world, Bhumandal, on this planet. These are the Brahmanas. They're considered Bhusurgan. The gods, Sur means the demigods or divine persons, Asur means demoniac persons. So the divine persons of this planet, Bhumandal, so these are the Brahmanas who are absorbed in the absolute truth. So we should respect. So that is a principle for the Vaishnavas. Vaishnava means belonging to Vishnu, Vaishnavas. Serving Vishnu or Krishna. So they are respecting everyone because they know that everyone is a servant of Krishna or Vishnu or Narayan or Ram. So we should see not only the body but the soul. And within everyone's body also the super soul is there or the Lord is there. Vishnu is all pervading or Krishna is situated everywhere. So that we should see. That is real knowledge. When we see Krishna, then everything is revealed, everything is clear. And the association of the devotees is possible. So asaṅga-tyag, asaṅga. So unwanted association is very important, that has to be given up. Utsa-nishchay darya tatta karma pavatana saṅga-tyaga sato vrite sadvir bhakti prasiddhati. Sad, those who are Sat, Sadguru, Sadshishya, those who are transcendently situated. Sad means eternal, transcendental, so we should associate with those. And then we can give up asat, what is impermanent. The material world is impermanent. And that those who are in this material world, who are materialistic, they have to be given up the association of those persons. Utsahan, with enthusiasm, strong determination, with patience, one should engage in devotional activities, the different names of devotional activities, of devotional service. And also an important point Prabhupada is mentioning, one must learn detachment by discussion of spiritual science based on authoritative scriptures, Guru Sadhu Shastra. We take shelter of the spiritual master, the previous acharyas and the scriptures. The spiritual master is saying what is mentioned by the previous acharyas, what is mentioned in the scriptures. So that is required. Authorized scriptures given by the spiritual master. So, and in the association of the spiritual master, then one must surrender to the spiritual master and then to Krishna or Mahaprabhu. In this way then everything becomes clear, slowly but surely. Bhagavad Gita as it is, we can understand Bhagavad Gita as it is, we can understand the process of devotional service, starting with hearing and chanting. Hearing about Krishna, glorifying Krishna, especially then chanting the holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And so then we have to hear sufficiently about Mahaprabhu, about Krishna, and then it is possible to remember. So if we don't hear sufficiently, we cannot remember. If we don't serve Krishna, then we cannot develop, we cannot have the loving exchange with Krishna. So it is this knowledge has to be practically applied, and then by practical application, then the realization will be there. When realization is there, then one can become detached from this material world and more attached to Krishna. And when we get a taste for chanting the holy names, for serving the Lord, for hearing about Krishna, for going to the places where Krishna performs pastimes, and then one can become fully attached to Krishna, then one becomes fully detached from this material world, and then one's spiritual nature, spiritual form is revealed, and then transcendental emotions come from the soul, and then there's a true transcendental exchange with Krishna, and then we can realize Krishna Sarup. Practical experience will be there of oneself as completely separate from the gross and material body, and then practical realization of Krishna will be there, that we can see Krishna as he is, playing the flute, wonderful, beautiful form, and then loving exchange is there. So that is the perfection of life. It is a gradual process, so we have to simply be in good association, in good environment, and then success is guaranteed, but we have to be patient, because it will take some time to become perfect. Hare Krishna, any question? Today is Ekadashi, so today we should chant more, today we should serve more, hear more about Krishna, and we should decrease the activities of this material body. Less eating, less sleeping. Hare Krishna. Yes?
So in the material world we have some devotees as well, but if it's a perverted reflection, that means spirit world should be devotees and here demons.
No. Yeah. So in the spiritual world, the only devotees are there in the spiritual world, no demons. So in this material world, actually everyone is a devotee also. By nature, everyone is a devotee. Even the so-called demons, they are devotees, but they are covered by the modes of material nature. And under the influence of the modes of material nature, somebody is a demon, somebody is a materialistic person. And those in the mode of goodness, they are inclined to spiritual activities. And then they may be seen as of course, different kinds of, then transcendentalists are there, but basically too, those who are accepting that the supreme absolute truth as a form, and those who are thinking the absolute truth as no form. Nirvisheshvadi, impersonalists, and then those savisheshvadi, those who accept that the absolute truth has a form, and the absolute truth is a person, and is engaging in transcendental activities. He has wonderful qualities. So in the material world, by nature everyone is a devotee, ultimately. All the jivas, they are servants of Krishna or Vishnu. But due to the influence of the modes of material nature, somebody is a Mayavadi and some may be devotees also. And of course, so in the material world, only the human form of life, one has the ability to understand transcendental subject matters. Only the human form of life one can understand that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. Only the human form of life one can serve the Supreme Lord, and in this way become liberated. Otherwise in the animal form one cannot realize one's transcendental nature. Or if one is a bird in this world, so they cannot understand. But they may also be slowly but surely elevated if they get Mahaprasad. So especially in Vrindavan, everyone is blessed. And so that is the situation. So in this world, so perverted reflection, so just like in the spiritual world, there are human forms are there and animal forms, so they are also here in this world. But by nature, everyone is a devotee by spiritual nature. But then according to the modes of material nature, different forms are there, and in the human form, some are then demons, some are materialistic, and some are interested in spiritual life. And those who are interested in spiritual life, then they can understand the spiritual nature. But the last trap of Maya is thinking that the absolute truth has no form. So that is unfortunate for them, who are impersonalists and want to merge in the personal Brahman. They can become free from this material existence. They can merge in the Brahma Jyoti, but there's no use of that. There's no activity there. Some bliss is there because the spiritual nature is blissful. Brahmananda. So, but there's no activity. That is it is a spiritual condition. There is a material conditioning and a spiritual conditioning. In the Brahma Jyoti, the jivas, they are conditioned. Spiritual conditioning. They are not engaged in the natural propensity of the soul, devotional service. So, anadikal, nityabada, since time immemorial conditioned. So, but the proper occupation of the soul is the natural occupation, jaiva dharma, jivka dharma. Dharma means religion or the natural propensity of something, like water. What is the dharma of water?
Coolness.
Well, liquid. Liquid. The water, the river, it is flowing and you have water, it is liquid. So that is natural. And usually when we think of water, we want sweet water, not salty water. So, and then, but sometimes the water, like when it is very cold, or you put in the fridge, it becomes ice. Sometimes even the lakes, they become frozen. So even big lakes, like in the West, I was born in Switzerland. One time I saw a big lake is there in Zurich. Big lake, like 30 kilometers long and almost 10 kilometers. So the width is there. So the whole lake one time became frozen. And the people were there ice skating. But that is not the natural position of the water. Only temporary. If you put the water in the fridge, it becomes ice. You take it out, when it's warm, after 1 hour it becomes water again. So the natural propensity of the soul is to serve. But then it is vikrit, it becomes changed, it becomes, when we are engaged in this material world, the nature is changed. One is not serving Krishna. Vikrit, changed. That is not the natural position. So, of the soul, to engage in the material world. But then by engaging in the service, then again, the natural propensity will be there. In good association with the devotees, and then bhakti will flow towards Krishna, love will flow towards Krishna. That is natural propensity. That is dharma.
My second question is, like, we have to become detached from this material world. So we may gradually become detached, but when we see the problem of this material world, we try to find solutions. Say, for example, cow slaughter, or say environmental plastics. We see very, we feel sad to see so much plastics in Vrindavan. So shall we endeavor or just become detached? Oh, this is not my place. Or should we endeavor to do something? Say ban plastics, or do something for the environment. I know it's not an ultimate good place to be, but since we are staying here, so we have to.
Yes, of course, we have to try to become detached, first of all, from this material world. At the same time, we are in this material world, so we have to see that the environment is nice. For this, if you can ban the plastic, it is nice. Or if you have some, you can have make some arrangement, so or where you can put the plastic in some containers, you can put the garbage in the garbage bin, which is a little challenge here in Vrindavan because there are monkeys and they're taking out the garbage from the garbage bin, or they're breaking, the people are also not careful. Sometimes there's a garbage bin there and the people are not even throwing the garbage in the bin. Still the mess is there. So we try to see that the environment is nice, and so we try to see that we can protect the cows as much as possible, and we should serve the cows actually also. If you want to go to Golok, which is full of cows, the saying is here in Braj, if you want to go to Golok, you should serve the cow. Krishna is a cowboy, Rarani Gopi, cowgirl, they're serving the cows, taking care of the cows and the calves. So we should also practice doing that. So we try to become attached to Krishna, detached from this world, but we're in this world, so we should see that everything is nice, the environment is nice. So we can endeavor to some extent, as much as we can. But the main emphasis is on serving Krishna, chanting the holy names, hearing about Krishna. That is the main activity. But then, so we have to follow one ashram also, the duty of the householder, and so that has to be there also. And then naturally, the environment should be nice. So it is natural that we try to endeavor to see that the environment where we are, the environment should be clean, should be nice. That is just common sense. An intelligent will want to be in a clean environment. So therefore we should endeavor for that also as much as possible. But here in Vrindavan is a big challenge. You clean up the place, sometimes endeavor is made, and then it's clean a little bit for one day, the next day again the garbage is coming. Because many times people are just not understanding this point that we can see. So some training is there, or some knowledge should be given. Okay? Anything else? Yes.
You mentioned like in material world we see moving and non-moving, like they are in a different bodies, maybe animals, reptiles,
Right.
reptiles.
Yes.
So in spiritual world, you mentioned in spiritual world also similar way means all the species are there also.
Yes.
But these are in Golok Vrindavan or in the Vaikuntha also?
Both, in Golok and in Vaikuntha
So
also.
the Vaikuntha also they are realizing the same, means like all the rasas?
No. In Vaikuntha not all the rasas are there. For example, first of all, two bhav are there, two moods are there, Aishwarya bhav and Madhurya bhav. In Vaikuntha, Aishwarya bhav is there, opulence is there, Vishnu is the Supreme Lord. Whereas in Braj, the Brijvasis, they do not know by the internal potency Yogamaya that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. They think Krishna is my son, Krishna is my friend, Krishna is my beloved. So in Vaikuntha, Aishwarya bhav is there, Vishnu is the Supreme, I am the servant of Vishnu.
So still in the spiritual world also they have not achieved their the final destiny?
No. There are some jivas, they belong to Vaikuntha. That is there. They will remain in Vaikuntha. That is their swarup.
There is no further progress from Vaikuntha to Golok.
Now if you are supposed to be in Vaikuntha, you are in Vaikuntha, that's all. You will not go further. Maybe sometime somebody will go to Vaikuntha, but he belongs to Braj. So he may go there for a visit, and then he may go further on. That is there explained by Sanatana Goswami in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Gop Kumar. Yeah, he went to Vaikuntha, and he went there. Okay, very beautiful. Wow, wonderful. Vishnu, so much opulence and so beautiful. He saw Vishnu, and he saw the associates are looking like Vishnu. So he was a little bit bewildered what's going on here. But then he understood and he was guided to Vishnu, the Supreme Lord. And he had the natural affection towards the Lord in Sakhya Bhav, in friendship. He was going towards Vishnu very quickly, almost running. And he wanted to embrace. And then the servants, hey, stop, you cannot embrace Vishnu. No, stay there, down. We're the servants of the Lord, you cannot do that. Then he was sad. But Vishnu smiled and said, don't worry, soon you will achieve your desired goal. And then later on, then he, of course, he went back to this material world, and then so ultimately he came back to Golok, and then he was there in his original form as a friend, a cowherd boy. And Krishna saw him, oh my dear Sarup, and he embraced him. So he was embraced by Krishna. So that is then perfection. So in Vaikuntha, Dasya Ras is there. We are the servants of Vishnu. Except Lakshmi Devi, so she has Swakhya Bhav, conjugal relationship, but she is the internal potency. Otherwise, practically only Dasya Ras is there in Vaikuntha. In Ayodhya, it is a little more superior, and there the parents are there of Ram. So Dasharath is there, and so there's some Vatsalya Bhav is there, and some, but everyone is there in the mood of serving Sri Ram. But some parental affection is there, and some have some little more affectionate relationship with Ram, just like friends, but still the main is Dasya Bhav. Even the mother or father, they still have this mood of service. Same even then in Krishna Loka, which is divided in 4, Mathurapuri, Dwarkapuri, and Brajpuri, and then Shvetadip Navadvipa, Mahaprabhu is residing. So Krishna is eternally in Golok, and it is in Mathura, and it is in Dwarka. In Dwarka his parents are there, Vasudeva and Devaki, and they know that Dwarkadish is the Lord, but they have parental affection. Although Krishna is the source of his parents also ultimately. It's not that the parents are the source of Bhagavan, of Krishna, no. But in Braj, so the relationships are in servitorship, in friendship, in parental affection, and in conjugal relationship. And it is most sweet because there Krishna wants to forget that he is the Lord, and the associates, they don't know due to Yoga Maya that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and therefore is the intimate relationship is there, which Krishna is relishing, and they are feeling also the greatest enjoyment in that. So just like the king is the king for everyone, but that in the palace he's not the king, or still of course for the servants he's the king, but not for the son, not for the wife. For the wife is the husband, for the children is the father. The children will not say, my dear king. They will call him Pitashri, and then they will play with the father. When they're small, they will say to the father, you go down on yours and become horse. And they're going on the king, and he's playing like a horse. But that he only is doing that in the palace, and he's relishing that relationship, but otherwise he's the king. And then when he is a king, he's respected by everyone. So that is the situation. Krishna in Braj is still Bhagavan. And sometimes the opulence, and the opulence is there, much more than in Vaikuntha, but it is covered by the sweetness. That is the situation. Okay? Okay, we stop here. Hare Krishna.
Yes.